Big jump. There we go. 2 days ago, I decided I was going to help 1,000 women harness their true inner voices through fiction writing. If that sounds like something you would love, stick around. Why fiction? Why did I decide to express myself through writing fiction novels about romance instead of just writing my memoirs or a nonfiction book? It's been an interesting journey. I've always loved to write and I've always loved to tell stories. I've written a lot of poetry. I wrote short stories. I started a few children's books, but not until I reached the point of writing maybe a couple of dozen of romance novels did I realize that I had to tell the truth when it came to fiction. You know, I was told by a senior editor of a nonfiction publishing group that most people wait until family members pass away to tell their story. Why do they do that? Because they don't want to be judged. They don't want their family member reading the truth that they wrote in their book. But in fiction, we have a bit more freedom, don't we? We can take, maybe not the whole person, but we can take the nuances of this relationship or this person's characteristics and we can give them to another character in the book. And we can cathartically live out how we would have handled that situation at work or our true opinion if we were too tongue-tied to say. In real life, we filter ourselves. Had I not written that first book that led all the way to number 48, had I not spent the last decade and a half crafting fiction novels, who would I be? Would I be as confident? Would I be as outspoken? Would I be as kind? In fiction writing, we have to look at everyone's point of view. The heroine isn't always right. The hero isn't always right. Through the process of writing a couple, you're also probably going to write some of the relationship issues you've had personally. If I had $1 for everybody who asked me, is that John? Did you write about John? And the answer is no, I don't write about my husband. I might write about a situation though. Did we have an argument about something or a conversation about something that I really wanted to work through with my character because it was funny or because it was deep? And we can work through all sorts of life situations, not just with other people. Maybe you had a financial issue or a bankruptcy or lost a house, or maybe it wasn't that dramatic. Maybe it was just you were stuck in line at the post office for 45 minutes and a comedy of errors occurred while you were there, and you would like to give that to your heroine to really ramp up her frustration in your book. We are bringing all of our knowledge of who we are into that situation and presenting it to everyone else. I've been known to say that writing is a form of therapy. After 48 books and working through a lot of relationship issues in my books, I am still happily married, going on 28 years. So this stuff works, you guys. So how will this benefit you if you're thinking, well, I thought I was going to write my memoir, the story of my crazy family, and you can certainly do that if you want to. But if you didn't want to dive into talking about how Aunt Myrtle always made her famous potato soup and served it wearing only knee socks, then maybe you want to put a quirky Aunt Myrtle-esque character into your fiction novel instead. Or maybe you want to pack a whole town with characters like these that kind of represent what you feel like in your family. Are you the outcast? Are you the leader? Are you the one that everybody comes to for advice? This is who you can make your heroine out to be, a version of you. I have gotten to have all of these careers and all of these life experiences. I've been a billionaire. I've been a literary agent. I have written children's books. I've been a painter. I've run construction sites. I've been a CEO. I have worked at the helm of a software company. I've been a cowboy, a rock star. I've been confident, apologized too much, never apologized at all, you name it. I get to live out each of these characters' roles. So what we're really doing as romance authors is we are being honest. We are being so honest about the emotional upheaval that we're experiencing. And I've been really open talking about the fact that I don't have children. I wrote a heroine who did not have any children of her own. So was that a way for me to purge emotions? I mean, yes and no. I wanted to tell a story about a woman who had no children and was still given a happily ever after because I had no children and I still had a happily ever after. Is that an issue now in my life at age 50? No. But at the time that I wrote that, that was a very significant part of my life. And that brings me to another point. These books become little time capsules of who you were. I'm not 30, I think I was 37-year-old Jessica. I'm not her anymore. I wouldn't write a bio the way she wrote her biography in there. I probably wouldn't write a book in the way that that book is written. But it's not only about the fact that I've become a better writer in the last 13 years. It's about who I've become during that time, and what mattered to me then doesn't matter to me now, and vice versa. So in a way, each of those books gets to be that beautiful little time capsule that is talking to a certain kind of person. A certain kind of person from 15 years ago? Not necessarily. If someone were to pick that book up today, they are going to relate to this version of me that wrote these pages. So if you think you cannot impact lives through fiction books, you are dead wrong about that. I have received emails from people saying that my books helped them while they sat at the bedside of a dying parent. I have received messages from people who have said, in my culture, it's not safe for me to be seen in this way, for me to be a strong, confident woman, and your book really helped me do that. That's amazing. That's no small thing. And if you're helping someone become more confident or just give them a little escape, you are absolutely providing so much joy in the world. And you did it without having to worry about sounding preachy or bossy or like you needed to give them a 7-step program. Which brings me to my next point. Writing changes who you become as a person. If you're someone that doesn't speak her mind and you really want to, if you want to be bolder, how much braver could you be by writing than you are speaking it? And how much more can you say in the context of a heroine telling the billionaire hero exactly what she thinks of him? There's such a safety net there, right? We can wrap ourselves in bubble wrap and just let it fly. And the beauty about writing a first draft is that there's always edits. So baby, you just let it go. You say whatever you want to say in that first draft. You can always take it out later. This gives us a chance to practice being brave and showing up in our own lives the way we would really want to. So when you're writing your fiction novel, even though you're doing this under the construct of romance and plot, what else are you wanting to purge in there? What else are you wanting to practice? And maybe it's not just boldness and bravery. Maybe you want to see how funny you are. I love writing comedy into my books, so allow yourself to do that. If you always wanted to try a profession, allow yourself to do that. Maybe you're a stand-up comedian. Maybe you're a realtor. Maybe you're a billionaire. Maybe you're a flight attendant. Whatever it is you have dreamed of doing, do it on the page. The benefit of this is that you will gain confidence as you write, and you're also going to change your identity. Doesn't mean you're going to change your name, but you are going to change who you are on the inside. I am a woman who writes romance novels with confidence. That's who Jessica Lemmon is. I write romance novels. I've written almost 50 of them. I can express myself through the written word. I'm not shy or afraid of dropping the F-bomb, of writing the sex scene. Was I? You bet your ass I was. I was so nervous when I wrote this book that I would be judged, that I would be somehow unloved or disowned by my family. I mean, not literally, but we do have these fears inside of us, and it keeps us from being our best selves. And the last point I wanted to make is that you will learn to trust yourself. How beautiful is that? You'll stop looking outside of yourself for the answers and really lean into your own intuition. Successful writers who write dozens of books do it because it is so rewarding to do so. Having books all over the globe, being translated to other languages, or having the app in Chapters Interactive, like my book became an app. This book, Tempting the Billionaire, is in an app with animated people talking the words that I said in here. What is going on? Even just hearing your own audiobook is incredible. And of course, all of these experiences help me to trust myself more. So now you're probably wondering why. Why have I made it my mission to help 1,000 women harness their true inner voices by writing fiction? And the answer is this. I want you to experience the growth and the joy and the confidence that I have gotten to experience over the last 15 years. And you don't have to write 48 books to do it. If you don't know where to start with your journals. Do you keep a journal? Do you keep notes in your phone? Have you had a text conversation with a friend that might give you an idea? Now, put whatever situation that is into the context of a romance. If you were really struggling with getting a raise at work because there was someone else up for the job who was less qualified, make that person the hero and watch the sparks fly. Allow it to come alive. Tweak it and change it. Shift in your genres. Are they both vampires or both werewolves? Is one of them in the mafia? In fiction, we get to really expand and enjoy our imaginations. Your imagination is your greatest tool. One of my mentors has always said, my imagination is my greatest business tool. And it is true. How often as adults do we tap into our imaginations? Not very often, but when you're a fiction writer, you do it all the time. Tapping into your imagination also allows you to create this beautiful world that your hero and heroine live in. And as you're creating this beautiful world that no, is not perfect, but we do know they're going toward a happily ever after, you are also giving people a refuge, somewhere to show up that's not what's going on in their current world. If they are going through something at work that's really hard, if they are losing a parent and sitting at that bedside, if they're sick, if they're lonely, going through a divorce, you can be there and tell them that there is still hope left in the world, that there is still joy. And you put it all right here in this cute, funny, sweet book about a billionaire who falls in love with his personal assistant. If while you're watching this, you were thinking, I would love to be one of those 1,000 women, then I would love to cordially invite you to the Lemmon Society. If you want a space where you can explore your voice, be accountable on your word count, learn a little bit about craft, and ask me questions directly, join my membership. It's called the Lemmon Society, and it is a bargain at just $35 a month. We have a writer's lounge where you can pop in and leave your word count for the day. I record an audio pep talk every single month. I host a live Zoom call where you can show up and ask me questions about anything, craft, what I've experienced, what you're going through, or maybe you just want to show up and get a little bit of encouragement for the week to come. I'm so happy you joined me today. I hope I gave you a different way of looking at fiction writing. You really can learn to express yourself through telling the stories that you would love to tell the most.